Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing very well. Happy spooky month, by the way. I'm excited about today's video because I'm talking about a film that I really enjoyed, and I feel like it has a lot of interesting things to touch on, especially the themes that it features. With this review, I'm going to go through what happens in the film, and then later on I'll give some of my thoughts. If you haven't seen this movie, I just want to let you know we are going to get into some spoilers, but if that's something you don't care about, let's go ahead and jump into it. As we see the opening credits, we hear voiceover from characters that we'll later see in the film, but this is from a scene that went all wrong when an ape literally went ape and started attacking a bunch of people.
You know, Gordy, all things considered, maybe my gift isn't so bad after all.
Hey, Gordy! Surprise! Wow, now there's a gift.
Here you go, Gordy. Happy birthday.
It's such a dark way to open a film, but it does set the tone for what we're about to witness. Moving on from that, we meet one of our main characters, OJ, aka Otis Jr., as he's working on his family's horse ranch and business, Haywoods Hollywood Horses. This scene also welcomes us to the antagonist of the film, Jean Jacket, as it's, for a lack of a better term, clearing his throat.
Where your sister? What's that about? She's supposed to be here. Yup. God damn it. Thought I told you to fix the damn walker. You hear that? Pops!
I guess it ate something that made his tummy hurt and it needed to throw up. Unfortunately, Otis Sr. died from one of the objects that were falling down, which was a quarter that lodged into his skull. If I were to hopefully get into heaven and they tell me at the pearly gates that my cause of death was a quarter, y'all would have to send me back down so I can die a more honorable death or something. That sounds so insensitive to Otis Sr.'s character, but I feel like he'd be rightfully pissed off too. I do think there's a small part of me that's just upset that we won't get Keith David throughout the entire film. We see him later, but it's just not enough. 6 months later, after this event, OJ is still trying to keep the family business going, and he's doing that by renting out one of his horses for a commercial shoot. In this scene is when we also meet his sister Emrald, aka M, who came late, but when she comes, we do see how different they are with their personalities. OJ being a more reserved person, while M is more up in your face about who she is.
I think my sister's gonna be here in a minute.
Loud up, please. We come in the back.
I said we are animal wranglers with Haywood Hollywood Horses, and
Hello! How y'all doing? Sorry for the tardiness. My name is Emrald, that's OJ, and we are your animal wranglers today with Haywood Hollywood Horses. Now, did you know that the very first assembly of photographs in sequential order to create a motion picture was a 2-second clip of a black man on a horse? Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Look it up. But does anybody know the name of the black jockey that rode the horse?
No.
Nope. I mean, the very first stuntman, animal wrangler, and movie star all rolled into one, and there is literally no record of them. That man was a Bahamian jockey that went by the name of Alistair E. Haywood, and he is my great-great-grandfather.
Great.
There's another great-grandfather. That's why back at the Haywood Ranch, as the only black-owned horse trainers in Hollywood, we like to say since the moment pictures could move, we had skin in the game.
During the scene, we see how it is setting up one of the movie's central themes, which is exploitation. Unfortunately, this shoot didn't really help anything for the family business because people on set weren't respecting the horse's personal space. OJ repeatedly told everyone to keep their distance because he didn't want them to spook the horse, but they did not respect that at all. They didn't see this horse as another living being that needs space, just a tool for the entertainment that they were creating. But also, how idiotic of them to act so surprised when an animal behaves like an animal. Are you really that shocked? Because I'm not.
I'm shocked. This is shocking news.
Because they still need to run a business and make money, OJ has been selling his horses to this guy named Ricky, aka Juke, a former child star who starred in this movie called Kid Sheriff and then in a TV show called Gordy's Home. I like and hate Jupe's character just because I think that he is so inauthentic.
Hold up, that's you? You literally the Asian kid from Kid Share?
Nah, it's okay. Yeah, I was a little Jupe.
Ah, dude, you were literally my favorite. You mind if I get a picture real quick?
Hey, you mind if we talk?
Yes, of course. Please, browse away. Su casa es mi casa.
Thank you.
Okay, so I studied Spanish for a bit. I'm not really that fluent, but I can understand a few things. But that line made me do a double take because that man said the phrase so wrong. The phrase is supposed to be mi casa es su casa, which to me confirms that Jupe isn't as real as he tries to portray and este hombre es estúpido. Anyway, as Em is looking around at the memorabilia that's in Jupe's office, she comes across this Mad magazine cover that references the incident that Jupe was involved in as a kid.
That's the first exploding fist bump.
What? Really? Y'all came up with that?
One day, we were shooting an episode in season 2 entitled Gordy's Birthday. And boom. So one of the chimps that plays Gordy just hit his limit. You haven't seen the Bad Gordy sketch on SNL? I mean, it pretty much nailed it better than I could. It goes like this. Everyone's trying to celebrate Gordy's birthday. But every time Gordy hears something about the jungle, Gordy, Catan, goes off. And it's Catan. He's just crushing it. He is a force of nature. He is killing on that stage. Yeah. It's legendary.
Okay, I understand that we all process trauma differently, but the way that he kind of casually talks about this traumatic event worries me deeply. I think Jupe convinced himself to buy into the sensationalism of what happened just so that it won't be in his mind 24/7. But I do hope that a therapist was involved somewhere from child to adult. Please tell me there was one. When OJ and M return to their ranch, we learn that Jupe has made OJ an offer to buy the ranch, but OJ is trying to avoid giving up the ranch because it represents their family's legacy, and he's just not ready to give that up yet. We also learn that M has been estranged from the family up until Otis Sr.'s passing, and we get a flashback to a time that explains the estrangement.
Remember Jean Jacket?
Yeah, good horse.
It's supposed to be my first horse, actually. But then Pops got some Western and Jean Jacket wasn't mine no more. Classic Otis Sr. I distinctly remember standing right here at this window watching y'all train my horse. My horse. Pops never looked up at me.
Whoa. 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 OJ, come on.
You did.
After that conversation, we get another peek at the true star of the show when OJ is out in the field looking for their horse who got loose.
My family and I bore witness to an absolute spectacle.
What's a bad miracle? We got a word for that.
Nope.
And tonight I heard a ghost make a sound I ain't never heard a horse make.
What did you see?
It was big.
How big?
Big.
What did it look like?
I don't know.
Now, I feel like someone who's normal, anybody with sense, would start making a plan to leave. Like, what are y'all doing chilling on the porch talking about how you just saw a flying saucer or something that just went between the clouds? We can pack and talk because I'm not staying here. It is time to go.
Well, that's my cue, purse.
But as I mentioned, they do have this connection to their ranch and they're not ready to give it up yet. So they devise a plan to get what OJ saw on video. Okay, I don't know what happened. I was in the middle of editing this video and I noticed that my clip, the sound was distorted. And then I clicked on every other single clip that I had ready to edit for this, and each one of them had distorted sounds. So I have to re-record the rest of my review so things do look a little bit different, but I just want to explain that real quick. Picking up from the last part, M was thinking that maybe if they could sell the footage of a UFO, they can earn maybe $5,000 to $100,000. She's thinking that that money would be a start for them to be able to keep their family ranch. So they go buy surveillance that can help them capture this UFO. I love this part of the movie because this is when they meet Angel, and I think he's the funniest character in the movie.
All right, I can help you over here. Hi. Thank you for shopping at Fry's. Did you guys find everything you're looking for today?
Yes, Angel.
Great. Actually, do you have a card with us?
No, thank you.
Or would you like one? Because
No, thank you.
What happened? Did you guys get robbed?
Yeah, you know, a lot of blackouts. Take the camera out from time to time.
All these new cameras, they have backup battery power, so you should be fine.
But the outages affect the power and the battery shit too, like cell phones.
Okay. All right. Cell phones, they don't just drop in power, right? I mean, maybe your Wi-Fi drops out whenever your system dips. So that's technology.
I can't lie, Angel kind of is an asshole when we meet him in the beginning of this movie, but he becomes important because he's someone who does believe in extraterrestrial life, and he helps them capture footage of Jean Jacket. Again, Angel is so funny because he does this when he shows up to their ranch.
Yeah. Not realize you guys are this far out. I don't mind, though. Smell of horse and fresh air, right?
Whoa, 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 whoa. Look at me, man.
Fuck.
Don't do that, don't yell.
Sorry, man. Sorry if I was like a little shut down this morning. Just got out of a 4-year relationship.
You were fine.
Her name was Rebecca Diaz. Yeah, keep an eye out for her. She's an actress, model, you know. She booked a pilot on the CW. So, yeah, left me. Yeah, CW.
While Angel is there setting up the surveillance cameras, he quickly realizes that M and OJ are using this for something else. They're not using this for misguided strangers or potential robbers. There's something else going on here.
Do you know them calling UFOs anymore? So UAPs now.
Why they gotta change the name?
Exactly. No one knows what the a UAP is. So everyone lost interest.
I saw that Navy clip. Couldn't really see him though. Could have been better.
It's shitty footage of exact proof that there's an alien civilization out there in the universe.
So who's that?
Come on, man, the little guys with the big eyes. They're world killers, planetary destroyers, and that means that they've been watching us and studying us, waiting for the perfect time to beam us up and shove metal probes up our ass.
In the meantime, M went to Jupiter's claim and stole one of the decoy horses. I can only imagine that she did that as a you to him because he's been buying their horses. Or she's using it as a way of like, remember, we have one of your horses and you got to give ours back.
Oh, no. You guys are doing something shady.
Hey there!
Hey! You can stay right there, though!
Sure. What's up?
We setting up a decoy for horse training!
Oh, good! You know, we got some of those. Where'd you
Where'd you get yours?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. My wife would know. Okay, thanks for stopping by.
You don't live here.
But Juke comes there, and as they have a little back and forth, he mentions that he has a new attraction at his amusement park and invites him to come there. Because M stole one of their decoy horses, Jupe sent his children out there to go pull a prank on the Haywoods, and in the process of doing that, they end up letting out one of the horses. And in this scene, M finally sees proof with her very own eyes that there is something out there hovering over their home.
It's in the cloud. OJ! It's in the cloud!
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. Run, OJ! Run!
I guess M rediscovered her will to live because this is when she's saying that she's ready to go. But since she's planted in OJ's mind that they need to capture footage of this UFO to earn money for their farm, she's not ready to go anywhere.
Let's go.
Where?
I ain't never seen no shit like this. It ain't worth it. Nope. It's too much.
You should go then. I gotta get up early anyway. I got mouths to feed.
She's better than me because I said, you got it. You can stay here and text me when you get the footage. You can stay at this death trap because I'm trying to live.
No, I don't want to die. I want to live.
They realize that they might need some outside help to capture what they want. So M ends up contacting Antler's host, the director who was at the commercial shoot earlier in the film. This man is very strange, but he's the best around and he has equipment that they can use that doesn't run off electricity that will help them capture footage of Jean Jacket. Jean Jacket does have the ability to disrupt things that run off of electricity since I guess it has this electromagnetic field around itself. Really, the origins of this creature and what it can do are never fully explained in the movie. There's no mention of it already being here from other characters or no quick montage of how it made its way to Earth. I somewhat like how we can kind of create its origins in our minds. In my mind, this creature has been on Earth for quite some time, going mostly unnoticed before Jupe and OJ realized it was there. Although it has been here for some time, it cannot differentiate between inanimate objects and living beings, considering that it ate a fake horse earlier. And another thing that comes across in my mind is, what if this is a baby of whatever species that it is? Because Jean Jacket seems to be intelligent, but what if it's just still learning how to do things? And if it is a baby, is there a family looking for it? A lot of different questions start popping up in my mind, and I cannot tell if my theories make this character more interesting or more terrifying. Speaking of it being terrifying, Angel shows up to the house and he points out how there's a cloud that has not moved an inch since he's put up the surveillance cameras.
Okay, tell me when you see it.
There. Doesn't move.
Exactly. I went back and scrubbed through the footage, and that cloud has been right there, at least since I set the cameras up.
Yeah, now you mention it. I'll probably be looking at the same damn cloud every day for the last 6 months.
Shit. So, I mean, that's them in there.
M is thinking that since they kind of have proof that this cloud hasn't moved, that they have the shot and they have evidence of extraterrestrial life living amongst humans.
We've been recording this, so we got it, right?
Yeah.
Why you saying yeah like that? I mean, we have proof of aliens on video.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it proof.
Are you serious?
Look, I've seen crazy weather phenomenons online before, that's all I'm saying.
He's right. It's good, but it ain't it. Ain't Oprah.
Ain't Oprah.
Okay. Are you guys telling me that there's an alien spaceship in that fucking cloud right there?
It doesn't move like a ship.
We finally get to see what happened on the set of Gordy's home in a flashback that Jupe is having. And I feel like this is one of the most disturbing scenes I've seen in any horror movie. It's not even because of what I saw, it's because of what I heard. This scene isn't super gory, but we hear Gordy pummeling his fist against people's bodies and then eating the flesh off of someone's face.
No, Gordy, no! No! Down, you sick!
It's just very haunting to me, and sometimes I feel like hearing something horrible happening is more scary than actually seeing it. But during Gordy's attack, Jupe has been hiding under the table this entire time, viewing everything happening. And when Gordy snaps out of his rage, he has no idea what happened. And it makes everything a little bit scary because what the f possessed him to act like that? I mean, yes, he is trained, but he is an animal at the end of the day, so unpredictable things can happen. But this seems like something else took over him. And evidence that it was something else that took over him is how there is a shoe that's standing upright, and it's just something that's very unnatural. Gordy does try to regain Jupe's trust by giving him a fist bump, but that is when he is deleted from existence in front of Jupe. This is such a wild moment, but I think this is when Jupe thought that he was very special, because when we jump back to the present, he has allied with this creature.
You're chosen. I could barely see my hand in front of my face for the fog, but I swear on my wife and children's lives that at 6:13 p.m. I see a flying saucer descend through the mist. Ladies and gentlemen, I kid you not. We are being surveilled by an alien species I call the viewers. And though they have yet to emerge from their ship, I believe they trust me. If they didn't, I don't think any of us would be here right now.
Jupe has to have one of the most enormous egos in existence to believe that he's a chosen one just because he was spared from a brutal attack. I would love to know who told him he's a chosen one, because I feel like he just made that up in his imagination.
You just made that up.
But Jupe is about to learn how special he truly is and why he shouldn't have quickly befriended a flying creature in the sky that he does not understand anything about.
Stay in your seats. This is new. They're early.
I'm not trying to victim blame, but was everyone's self-preservation levels at 0? If I heard someone tell me that they saw a flying saucer and then I myself hear growls and rattling coming from a cloud, I'm not sitting there. I'm getting the f out because it is time to go. You're crazy if you think I'm about to continue to sit here to watch what's about to happen next.
Absolutely not.
So a little bit after the audience got gobbled up, OJ arrives at Jupiter's claim and he's there to get his horse back. He's viewing the aftermath of what Jean Jacket did, and I think Jean Jacket is so greedy because it looks like he ate everybody who was at the park. As OJ is trying to get his horse back, he does get his theory confirmed that what he's been seeing is not a flying saucer, rather a living being. And during that moment, he does get knocked out, but when he wakes up, he calls M to confirm his theory as he's making his way back to the ranch, but so is Jean Jacket.
M, I was right. It's not a ship.
What happened?
It ain't the man. It ain't them all.
It's alive, M. It's an animal. It's territorial. And it thinks that this is its home.
trouble.
Okay, Angel, what was the knife supposed to do? Points for trying to protect yourself, but were you just gonna throw it at the sky in hopes that it would somehow hit the flying thing? I think the scene is Jean Jacket marking its territory and letting them know that it is a threat to them. And during the scene, I feel like we get some of the most beautiful images ever to be seen in cinema.
Oh God. Something very bad is happening. We're fucked.
Every time I see the scene, I'm kind of left in awe because I am scared of this alien, but also it's kind of beautiful. And seeing how huge Jean Jacket is up close really makes you feel the threat of this being. Everyone just kind of had to stay where they were at the moment out of fear of getting eaten up by Jean Jacket. But when morning comes, OJ does signal to M and Angel that he's outside, but Jean Jacket is still there waiting to see who's going to make movement first.
She gonna make it.
Oh yeah.
She gonna make it.
Oh hey, horsey.
Hey, don't look at her in the eyes, please.
If it hadn't been for OJ's experience handling animals, I don't think he would have survived the encounter at all. While doing my research, I ended up on fandom.com and I read about Jean Jacket's abilities and behavior. It mentions how it behaves similarly to a predator, feeding on living beings that look into it. It has limited intelligence and it can be subjected to luring and taming. Depending on the type of animal, they can see prolonged eye contact as a threat. And that's one of the reasons why Jean Jacket will attack you if you are directly looking into it, because it's feeling intimidated. I don't think Jupe noticed that, and he was too busy trying to make a spectacle out of Jean Jacket when Jean Jacket was just kind of waiting for the right time. Even though Jupe owns his amusement park that features aesthetics from the Old West and he does have horses featured in the shows, he has no idea how to handle horses. I don't think he has any idea how to handle animals at all, because if you can see that this being is a predator and because you've been feeding it animals, what makes you think that it was not going to eat you at some point? Which kind of echoes my earlier point about him being inauthentic. He just doesn't really know anything about what he's pretending to be. But I will say that the outfit was on point. I mean, he was casket sharp already. But Jupe had no idea what rules Jean Jacket was playing by, which was none at all. Because a lot of people have now gone missing, this does pick up on the news, and it also gains the attention of Antler's hosts.
I'm here in Agua Dulce, California, and the whereabouts of those 40 guests and employees of a local Western theme park are still unknown. The sheriff's office has had its hands full trying to identify the unaccounted for. Until they do, only one thing is certain. There is something strange happening out here in Agua Dulce.
Security cameras were off at the time. Other than that, we have no reason to suspect foul play.
There's a wheelchair on your roof.
Hi.
That cloud ain't moved a goddamn inch. So you're not completely full of shit.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. The concept of extraterrestrial animals in the sky is not a new thing. You know, people have been trying to get pictures of these things since like the 50s. You know, it's ancient.
How do we see it?
It's gonna get hungry again.
OJ updates him about what's been going on and how they are figuring out the behavior that Jean Jacket exhibits, because they still want to capture Jean Jacket on film, but they're gonna have to be smart about this, especially because Jean Jacket can be very aggressive and has some level of intelligence.
We pissed him off.
We're not the reason to settle down here. That was Juke. He got caught up trying to tame a predator. You can't do that. You gotta enter an agreement with one. He's big. He's mad. And he's got a lot of spirit. But anything with a spirit can get broke.
So you break it. I'll get the shot.
What we're doing is important, right? Like, what we document, it's gonna do some good.
So they get everything set up so they can lure Jean Jacket to come out. And their plan is working until this random guy on a motorcycle comes up.
I'm gonna need you to clear the road.
This whole valley comes up as blurry on Google Maps. You're really tucked away back here.
Jupiter's claim? Quick if you go the other way around.
Yeah. Actually, what did happen with Juke Park and all those people? He was basically your neighbor, right? So what? They vanished? You don't believe the flood narrative, do you?
Guys, it's TMZ.
What's the matter? Don't you want to be on TV?
Man, I'm trying to tell you. You don't want to go that way. Fellas, here it comes. Over.
Pop quiz, guys. What happens when an electric bike going 60 miles per hour hits an anti-electric field going in the opposite direction? There's no way that guy's alive.
That ejection was brutal, but it's kind of what he gets. Even though M warned him not to go that way, and because he has no idea what's going on, he got gobbled up by Jean Jacket.
Be a king. Make a name for yourself. What is that?
My bad, man.
Hey! Oh my God! Like Emrald! I mean like Emrald! What the fuck?
I feel like this guy was riding a very thin line between being brave and being idiotic, because why would you put yourself in that position? But the fact that this man in his final moments wasn't even thinking about how he was about to die. He was so obsessed about getting his camera so that he could capture the moment. It really speaks to how a lot of people will put themselves in harm's way just to get the story, get the attention, and make a few bucks. Some people really will do anything for fame and clout. But it is interesting how he also told OJ to make a name for himself. I feel kind of bad for TMZ guy, but maybe next time mind your own business. I guess there won't be a next time for him anyway. After that happened, they fully have Jean Jacket's attention and it is ready to attack them. And I love this scene so much because it's so exciting to watch this chase happen, and I love the score that's in the background. It just makes me feel like this is the most fun in the movie.
Yeah, he didn't like that, did he?
So they were able to get the shot. They were able to capture what they have been waiting to do for the past few days. But for some reason, Antlers has a different idea.
The light, it's gonna be magic soon.
Oh, no, where are you going?
It's gonna be all right, Angel. We don't deserve the impossible.
I don't know why the f he did that, but I guess he wanted to go out on his own terms. But again, I feel like this speaks to how some people really will do anything to get that moment and they'll put themselves in harm's way. I'm still very confused about Antler's choice doing that because it really made no sense in the moment why he wanted to sacrifice himself. Unless it's supposed to say how some people sacrifice themselves for the art. Because for him to say that we don't deserve to get the impossible shot, it's kind of like, what are you talking about? I'm thinking that maybe he sacrificed himself because the footage could be salvaged later. Because I mean, Jean Jacket doesn't fully digest everything that it swallows up. Earlier when Jean Jacket gets rid of waste, that there are things that can't stay intact. So maybe he's thinking that I'm going to sacrifice myself, but you all can still get the impossible shot. I just feel like his character is interesting, but I also read somewhere that maybe Antlers was a self-insert for Jordan Peele since he is a director and he does have to get the impossible shot. And I consider this as someone who has made short films and I've spoken to other people who've made short films. Sometimes we do some crazy shit to make sure we get the shot that we want. Even though I'm not completely understanding of what Antlers was doing, in a way I kind of do. I don't know, but it's a very interesting choice for his character. But at this point, Jean Jacket is just going for everybody. It's flinging M up in the air. It is going after Angel, but Angel did something very smart, which was wrapping himself up in barbed wire. And it seems like when Jean Jacket tried to swallow him up, that really pissed him off. And in this next scene, we see how Jean Jacket is unfolding itself and really showing us its full form. And while this is happening, M and OJ are trying to get away from Jean Jacket, but it's very hard for them to try to let each other go because they don't want to see each other get hurt. It's a scene that really shows how great actors Dan Kaluuya and Keke Palmer are because a lot was said just through their looks. They've had their issues throughout the entire film and we've been hearing it in bits and pieces, but they still do care about each other. And I felt like it was really important that we saw how much OJ cared about his sister because he's so reserved and he had been upset with her for missing a lot of what was going on at the family ranch. But he was able to tell her that I still do love you and I care about you. And no matter what's going to happen, I got you. Don't worry about it. They're going up against something that's threatening their lives and their livelihoods. And even though it wasn't said through words, it was incredible and incredibly powerful to see it through their looks. So there's this back and forth where they're trying to distract Jean Jacket a little bit and make it lose its focus because M is on one side trying to get Jean Jacket to follow her, but then OJ is on the other side trying to get Jean Jacket to look at him so that M can get enough time to get away on his motorcycle. And the plan does work because when Jean Jacket gets closer to OJ, M is able to start up the motorcycle and go to Jupiter's claim. She has the idea to lure Jean Jacket away from the ranch and bring it to Jupiter's claim because she's cooking up an idea of how she can defeat this being and still get evidence of its existence. because Jean Jacket still cannot tell the difference between inanimate objects and living things, it does end up going for the inflatable, and it ends up exploding as it's trying to swallow this inflatable. I don't know why, but it seems like this movie is a hit or miss for a lot of people. I usually see that people say it has too many things going on, such as in its themes, so they just don't really know what it was trying to tell them, or some things just went over their heads. I have sections from 2 articles that I want to discuss just for a second, because I think they said some things that were interesting, but I feel like these 2 are examples of the ways that people just weren't paying attention to the movie. The first one I'm bringing up is a review from a writer that works with Variety. What's more, the most disturbing scene in the movie, a flashback to Ricky's 90s cable sitcom, which turned out to be an impromptu horror set when a chimp who played the lovable Gordy went on a bloody rampage, turns out to have nothing to do with anything. I truly mean no disrespect, but were you watching the film with your eyes closed? I feel like that scene was very important because it shows us how Jupe came to the conclusion that he has a special connection with animals and somehow an otherworldly being and was able to try to tame it. To say it had nothing to do with anything just doesn't make sense because it sets up how Jupe knows animals can be unpredictable, especially after surviving an attack like that. So when we get to the present and we see that Jupe has formed a friendship with this flying being, it explains why he thinks that he was able to kind of tame this animal. We don't really know what Jean Jacket is, but we're just gonna call it an animal for the sake of this argument. I feel like you never truly know the nature of something. And the second section that I would like to focus on is a review that was written by a writer with Times. I'm bringing this one up because I just felt like it was a little unfair because Nope, enjoyable as a spectacle, but conceptually barely thought through, is all over the place. Peele can't take just 1 or 2 interesting ideas and follow their trail of complexity. He likes to layer ideas into lofty, multi-textured quilts. The problem is that his most compelling perceptions are often dropped only to be obscured by murkier ones. He has an eye for dazzling visuals, but it seems he comes up with the visuals first and tries to hook ideas to them later. In this case, he decides those inflatable tube dancers you see outside used car lots might be cool to use somehow, but their effectiveness visually or in terms of moving the plot forward is debatable. I'm not bringing up these sections of the reviews to bash the writers because my intention is never to do that to anybody. I can disagree with you without being nasty. I'll only take you to hell if you try to drag me there first. But like I said, I bring these reviews up because I feel like some things just went over people's heads or they just weren't paying attention at some point. And I do like this movie. After rewatching it a few times for this review, I feel like it has become one of my top films. And for my criticism, I can say that it does overstay its welcome just a little bit. But I feel like everything that was said and everything that we saw really served a purpose as in moving the plot along. I can understand not liking someone's writing style possibly, but to say that it wasn't thought out just feels like you weren't paying attention because the things that were woven together, it took a lot of intention. I feel like I'm just being a Jordan Peele fanboy. I promise I'm not. I'm just saying when I look at the movie, I'm like, I feel like I'm not really lost because everything was there for me to see, whether it was said or whether it was just in the scene. For this writer to say that the inflatable tube dancers did not serve a purpose just seems very wild to me because they clearly did. I mean, one, they place them all around the ranch when they're trying to lure Jean Jacket out because they run off electricity, and Jean Jacket can disrupt things that run off electricity. Also, adding on to that, that just lets them know when Jean Jacket is coming towards them because they can see the inflatable dancers go down.
Can you use my camera? There's not enough time.
It's here.
And I feel like the reason that they use the inflatable tube dancers is because Jean Jacket still cannot tell the difference between a living being and an inanimate object. So it would probably mistake one of the inflatable tube dancers for something that it could eat. But I feel like this film leaves a lot of breadcrumbs that leads to a delicious meal at the end, because the world that was built, you see everything be used within it. If something was shown or mentioned by these characters, it served a purpose because it was going to come up again. I just feel like Jordan Peele did a masterful job at using the world that he built. I'm not really as focused on negative reviews as much as I focus on positive ones. Like I said, everyone is entitled to their opinions, and it's always interesting to see how people came to that conclusion. It's just two things I read that I was just like, you weren't watching it, were you? But now I would like to move on to the themes. I'm pretty sure there are many themes to be discussed that were in this movie, but the ones that I picked up were exploitation, notoriety, and legacy. I think one of the most interesting commentaries of the film is the exploitation aspect of it, because almost every character engages in it. Jupe and Jean Jacket seem to have the most interesting relationship when it comes to that, because Jupe was trying to make a spectacle out of Jean Jacket and make money off of its existence. It's funny because Jupe has a background of being a child actor, and I'm pretty sure has experienced or observed how exploitative Hollywood can be. I mean, he spoke about how SNL made a joke of a tragic moment in his life, and even though he tries not to show it as much, it still is something that deeply hurts him. And even though this is a fake sketch, it's just a really cruel way to make light of a situation that left people dead and disfigured. And I did mention this earlier, how Jupe thinks that he has a special bond with animals and otherworldly things by extension. And it was very weird that he thought that he could tame and befriend this creature that he just doesn't know anything about. And even though it wasn't fully explained why Gordy lost his cool on that set, it could be a thing of Gordy realizing that it was being taken advantage of and he lost his mind. And I feel like that was the same thing that happened with Jean Jacket in a way, because Jean Jacket was using Jupe because Jupe was feeding it. So it made Jupe believe that they had this symbiotic relationship and an understanding, even though it was never playing by any rules in the first place. And that's the thing with Jean Jacket. It could have realized that it was being taken advantage of and didn't like that, or it was just like, I am a predator, this is what I do. You were going to be food one way or another. I mean, that's something that Em and OJ realized earlier on, is that this is a predator and we will get eaten if we don't deal with this thing or try to get away from it. But even though they did realize that, that didn't stop them from still trying to capitalize on it. But the difference between Jupiter and the siblings is that they actually had experience with working with animals and know how their nature can be. They know that certain animals cannot easily be tamed, and they would have been gone a long time ago if they did not realize that. They had the same goal of capitalizing off of Jean Jacket's existence, but at least OJ and M did it to save their home. Jupe was doing it for selfish reasons and didn't care who was getting hurt. He was literally serving the horses up on a platter, and I think he wouldn't have minded if people died that day if it weren't him also getting gobbled up. And I don't think that this was their main goal, but getting evidence of extraterrestrial life would lead to notoriety as well, which could lead to more companies want to work with them, meaning that they can rent out their horses, the ones that were left anyway. And it would have led to an uptick in guests, which I'm sure that M would have found a way to monetize off of that. I feel like M would have enjoyed it more, but this does bring me to my next point about notoriety and fame. I'm not really that religious, but I do know that that Bible quote was there for a reason. It mentions spectacle, which can be seen as another word for notoriety, and really being a center of attention for something. Jupe uses Jean Jacket as a spectacle, and Jean Jacket makes itself as a spectacle as well, as it's daring you to look at it because you cannot look away once you do place your eyes on it. I did watch a review of Jordan Peele when he was on a press run for this movie when it came out, and he mentioned how he wanted it to be a reflection of society. You know, he wanted it to have some commentary on how people will do anything that it takes to have fame and notoriety. They'll make a spectacle of themselves for others, and I do understand where he's coming from. It was relevant in 2022 and is relevant now, especially now because there are so many people that say things to get notoriety. They'll say whatever they need if they think it will get them the most attention. They'll post whatever they think will get the most amount of views and engagement. And there are plenty of stories of people putting themselves in harm's way just to become famous for something. The phrase clout is a disease really comes to my mind because people really will do anything if it can get them some attention. They don't even care if it's positive or negative reactions to what they're doing. It just matters that people are looking at them. Personally, I would like to be remembered for good things, but to each their own. Jordan Peele also mentioned how he's not exempt from wanting notoriety or making a spectacle of himself because he is an entertainer. So he is asking for people's attention, especially when he's putting out these movies where he has something to say. Really, I feel like none of us are exempt from wanting to get attention. I mean, some of us post on social media because we would like to get some validation sometimes, or we get that gratification from getting the likes and getting the views. It's so weird to say that because I feel like I'm calling myself out, and I mean, I'm guilty of it too. I do want to clarify, it's not necessarily a bad thing to want attention, but I think it's about how you go about getting it because it does become a part of your legacy. Bringing it back to the film, Em and OJ have a legacy to protect and preserve because of their great-great-great-grandfather.
He is my great-great-grandfather.
Great.
There's another great-grandfather.
Even though most of the world doesn't know who their grandfather is, that's still history that's important. That's still a legacy that they want to carry on so that they can share what they love doing to the world. They are chasing money because they want to use that to save their home, and capturing evidence of Jean Jacket and extraterrestrial life will lead to fame and notoriety, but it also adds to the legacy of the Haywood name, being the ones who faced off against a threat to humanity and save the world, basically. I wasn't able to add in all that I wanted to add in because just for time's sake, but there is a moment where OJ speaks about how his father built Haywood Ranch, and that's something that they can't give up.
But at the end of the day, you gotta admit, man, Pops did something when he made this place. He changed the industry. That's real. I can't just let that go.
OJ also mentioned how when they were getting their plan together to capture evidence of Jean Jacket, how what they're about to do is something that's undeniable.
Because the word's getting out. And when it does...
Sorry, dead people. Park's closed.
You know people gonna come and do what they always do. Try and take it all for themselves. But let them come. It ain't gonna matter. Cause what we about to do, they can't erase that.
And I feel like the theme of legacy pops up again when the TMZ guy tells OJ to make a name for himself.
Scorpion King, make a name for yourself.
You know, his name being OJ in the film isn't by mistake. Jordan Peele definitely wanted to name him that for a reason. And he does mention that he wanted to connect it to the real OJ and the situation he went through and how that was kind of made a spectacle in itself. Early in the film, when they're at the commercial shoot, he tells people what his name is, and you can kind of see like they're taken aback, like, why would you go by OJ? And the funny thing is that he doesn't even have to go by OJ, but he can make a name for himself, something that comes with a different connotation when you bring up those two letters next to each other. I mean, there already is with, you know, orange juice, but and he and Em are able to make names for themselves when the news reporters show up at the end of the movie because that's their opportunity to share their story. And with this theme relating it back to the real world, I feel like it's even more important that we speak about legacy and we try to preserve the history, since there are people literally trying to erase history. You know, they're trying to bury people's hard work that earned their names in history books. And I feel like it's very important that we do the work to make sure that we can preserve that history and legacy, because it's something that does need to be remembered. And also, I feel like it reminds us that no matter what you have done, you always can create a legacy for yourself. I feel like there's plenty more to say about this movie, but I'm pretty sure this review is long enough as is, so I will leave it there. But if you have anything else to bring up, please let me know down below in the comments. That is all I have for you today. Have you seen Nope before? If not, will you watch it to form your own opinion about it? If you enjoyed my review, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, if this is your first time on my channel or you've been coming around but just haven't clicked it yet. Like I said, I had to re-record the rest of this video. It is 3:58 a.m. So I'm gonna have to try to hurry up and edit this together. I would like to do more movie reviews. I did say that I might do Sinners, so hopefully I get to working on that very soon. If there are any other movies that you would like for me to review, I will ask y'all again, or you can just leave them down below in the comments. This is the first one I've done in a long time, but I would like to do some more of them. If you'd like to watch more of my content, I've been doing a lot of videos on Hotel Hell and Kitchen Nightmares, and I'll leave a playlist up here, and I will leave playlists for my other videos in the description and in a pinned comment. Once again, thank you all for watching. I hope you have a good day or night, whatever time you're watching. My next video should be out soon, but until then, take care of yourselves. Goodbye.